So we are going to see routing. So what is routing? Routing is nothing but it is a process of selecting a path for a traffic in a network or across multiple networks. What is routing? It is a process of selecting a path for traffic in a network or across multiple networks. So there are two types of routing. One is unicast routing, another one is multicast routing. So routing from one source to one destination, it is called unicast routing. And if you are routing from one source to multiple destination, then it is called multicast routing. So first, routing table. So what is a routing table? So routing table consists of the information necessary to forward a packet along the best path towards its destination. What is routing table? Routing table is a table which contains the information necessary to forward a packet along the best path towards its destination. A routing table can be either a dynamic one or a static one. There are two types of routing tables. One is a static routing table and another one is a dynamic routing table. A static routing table is one with manual entries. A dynamic routing table is one that is updated automatically when there is a change somewhere in the network or internet. So what is dynamic routing table? A dynamic routing table will be updated automatically when there is a change somewhere in the internet. Okay, and a static routing table is a one with the manual entries. So a routing protocol, it is nothing but a combination of rules and procedures that lets router in the internet inform each other of changes. Okay, so what is routing protocol? A routing protocol is nothing but a combination of procedures and rules that lets the router in the internet to inform each other about the changes. So the routing protocol also include the procedures for combining information received from other routers. The routing protocols also have some procedures for combining the information received from the other routers. In a network, there will be many routers and the routers will be frequently exchanging information. So this routing protocol will be having some procedures for combining the information received from other routers. So there are two types of routing. One is intra routing, that is intra-domain routing, and another one is inter-domain routing. First, we are going to study the unicasting protocols. So in this unicasting routing protocols, there are two types of routing. One is intra-domain routing, and another one is inter-domain routing. So one protocol cannot handle the task of updating and routing the table of routers. So one routing protocol cannot handle the task of updating the routing tables of all routers. So sometime we will be using one more routing protocol for routing and the updating. Okay. So first, before going to study this intra-domain routing and the inter-domain routing, first we have to study what is meant by an autonomous system. An autonomous system is a group of networks and routers under the authority of single administration. What is autonomous system? Autonomous system is a group of networks and routers under the authority of single administration. A routing inside an autonomous system is referred to as intra-domain routing. What is intra-domain routing? Routing inside an autonomous system is called intra-domain routing, and routing between autonomous systems is referred to as inter-domain routing. So what is inter-domain routing? Inter-domain routing is the routing between autonomous systems. Then each autonomous system can choose one or more intra-domain routing protocols to handle routing inside an autonomous system. So when you're going for intra-domain routing, then the autonomous system can choose one or more intra-domain routing protocols to handle the routing inside an autonomous system. But in the case of inter-domain routing, only one routing protocol will handle the inter-domain routing between two autonomous systems. So if in the case of intra-domain routing, if the autonomous system needs two intra-domain protocol, it can choose. But in the case of inter-domain routing, only one intra-domain protocol is chosen. So there are two intra-domain routing protocols, that is distance vector routing protocol, and the second one is link state protocol. There are two types of protocol for intra-domain routing. First one is a distance vector routing protocol, and the second one is a link state routing protocol. So route information protocol is an implementation of distance vector protocol. The example of distance vector protocol is nothing but a routing information protocol. So the open shortest path first is an implementation of link state protocol, and border gateway protocol is an implementation of path vector protocol. So there is three types of protocol, that is the intra-domain protocol. There are two intra-domain protocol, that is distance vector protocol and link state protocol, and the inter-domain protocol is nothing called the path vector protocol. In that path vector protocol, the example is border gateway protocol. So in this routing protocols, the routing protocols can be divided into two types, that is intra-domain routing protocol and inter-domain routing protocol. The intra-domain routing protocol itself can be divided into two. One is distance vector routing protocol, another one is link state routing protocol. So the inter-domain routing protocol, the type is path vector routing. So in distance vector, we will be having RIP protocol, routing information protocol, and in the link state, open shortest path first protocol, and in path vector we are having border gateway protocol.